This is really reserved for my old cars. There are only 3 in here right now. It's a little empty. We have a couple. I have one outside that I'm working on, and another one that I've driven recently, so that's not in here. But it's pretty much reserved for that area, and also our sales area. Location, yeah, it's a pretty good location here on Broadway. We have lots of parking. One of the few areas on Broadway that can actually say that.
So how'd you get this spot? I mean,
this spot was actually was vacant for years. I'm told about 12 years, but actually was vacant for longer than that, I think. At one point, it was a Firestone store, later became a Goodyear store, and then Avellino's Tire Center. And then vacant. The owner had moved to Alaska, and it was boarded and vacant for a long time. It was at one point an old gas station, an old general store, an ice cream store at one point when Riverview Beach Park was still open. I've had a lot of people tell me that they used to come here and they had got great ice cream cones here. This is our outside display area, obviously. And generally we keep 35 to 40 cars in stock almost all the time. Sometimes in the springtime, inventory is a little heavier, where we might have 45 or 50 cars. This is our service area. That's Rich in the black shirt, my brother Randy in the green. They're my right-hand guys. Couldn't do it without them.
that smell?
That smell is brake cleaner.
You always had these lifts?
Lifts were here when I bought the place, yeah. More what we do. We don't do that much mechanical work here. We send a lot out. If we happen to have something that needs anything, we do. Most of the cars we buy need very little besides an oil change and maybe brake pads or something like that, because so much is still under factory warranty.
Really good shape.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm very picky as far as what I buy. This is the car side. And on the other side of the building, we keep trucks and SUVs and crossover type vehicles, which are a really big segment now. Probably between pickups and SUV vehicles, probably 60% of our sales, probably.
50 or 60.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny how the business has changed. Used to be all cars, and there was almost no such thing as an SUV.
So where's all the muscle cars?
Muscle cars, that's something we concentrate on more earlier in the spring.
I was going to say maybe May.
Yeah, exactly. This time of year, you hope that they're gone because the prices start to fall on them a little bit by now. Graduation presents, yeah. Hopefully we have some kind parents. Why I'm selling cars. I didn't think I would be a car salesman, but it doesn't surprise me that I ended up doing something in the automotive industry. Just always been a car guy, loved them from the time I was a little guy. Just in my genes, my dad was a car guy also. I'm old enough to remember when the annual model change and new car introductions were a big deal. And those nights when dealerships used to be still papered over, their windows would be papered over and cars would be covered until introduction day. We'd go out that night. That was a big night for our family to go out and look at all the new models. So it's been for a long time. It wasn't just by accident.
So since the time you were a kid?
Oh yeah, yeah, from a little guy.
So your love of cars come from your family?
Yeah. Like I said, it was in the genes for sure.
So how long have you been in business?
Been in business, it was just 24 years in May. We'll celebrate, hi Jimmy, we'll celebrate our 25th anniversary next May. I don't have any exotics. I'd love to own a couple Ferraris or a bunch of Ferraris. But these were the cars of my youth, and they got my attention then, they still have my attention. When the first time you meet somebody, I think The hardest thing in this business in particular is to build a feeling of trustworthiness to your customer. So, I mean, first of all, you can't lie. If you don't know something, you have to tell your customer you don't know, but I'll find out for you. That's the first thing. Don't try to blow your way through anything. People will see through that right away. Even if that was in my character, people would see through it anyway. They know a scam artist when they see one. I do, but I look at things more long term probably, where if you go to a big dealership and you talk to somebody who's a salesman there that day, he might not be there the next time you go to buy a car. So he just wants to sell you today. Me, I'm in a little one-horse town. I need all my repeat customers in my referral business. It's very important. No, probably not. You know, probably not. Sometimes it can be, and like any mechanical item, you can have problems with a car, and we check them over well. But sometimes we have a problem with something, and if you take care of that customer the first time, particularly if you give him something that he wasn't actually promised to begin with or wasn't entitled to, yeah, you may build that trust just after that one sale. And hopefully people remember that and come back. It doesn't always work that way, but it at least plants that seed that if they do have a problem with something they buy here, we'll stand behind it. We screen them. We screen the bodies of them really well, because if they've had a repair, you sometimes can't tell exactly how well done that was. The mechanical stuff we can take care of either here, or I have a couple guys here in town who are terrific mechanics. So we can take care of that and make it absolutely right and as right as new. But the body, once the body's been damaged, you just don't know for sure how well that's been repaired. It may look like it was a real good repair, and it may fail within a couple years. We do. We guarantee everything we sell. Most stuff we sell is actually still under factory warranty. So most of them still have a lot of warranty left, but give at least 90 days or 3,000 miles on everything. But most things have far longer warranty than that. It's a real passion. I know that word is overused in the hobby, but yeah, for me it really is a passion. When I'm off, I'm reading about them. I'm planning what I'm going to do to my old cars, and I have 8 of these old cars now, and would like to add to that stable. Yeah, so I just think about them all the time. It truly is a passion for me. My customers are actually very typical Salem County residents. We're all very blue-collar, middle-class, down-to-earth people. We don't have very many people who come in and just write a check for a car. Because we're a lower volume shop, I can't take enough trade-ins in order to fill out my inventory, so mostly I have to go out and buy to fill out what I need. But it just becomes a matter of experience, knowing what will sell here in this town. And every once in a while I'll buy something, like maybe buy a BMW or a Mercedes-Benz, but there just aren't very many people here for that particular car. And sometimes you get caught with them, you have them a little longer than you want, but you get to know, after being in business for so long, you get to know what sells for you.
So you get a lot of word of mouth referrals?
Yeah, yeah.
They've never done business before, but they've heard from their neighbors and friends.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of people come in and say, so-and-so sent me in, told me you take good care of me. They had bought cars here before, and that this was a good place to come. But you also, and you're right about that, I do get to I get to pass on my opinion on a lot of stuff, but you have to keep in mind what a customer needs too. And that's something I never try to do. I never try to switch a customer into something that I don't think is the right car for them. Well, they were doing some marketing research a while back, and it was all by telephone at the time. And they had a meeting, and it listed the top 10 dealerships in the area that this marketing firm had called, and asked them if they were going to buy a car next, who would they consider. And we were actually number 6 on the list, which was pretty impressive just because, and I take great pride in that, it was pretty impressive just because during the meeting, the owner said, that number 6, Curriden Auto Sales, that's the only one I don't recognize. And my buddy who works there said, that's because he's the only independent on the list.
The only independent.
Yeah, everybody else was a franchise dealer. Yeah, really, we're a small shop, but we do whatever the customer needs, actually. And a lot of times we go beyond what a large store would do for you. There's a personalized service here that you really wouldn't get in a large store. If you called me and you needed something, you'd probably be talking to me. Occasionally I'm not here if I'm out at auction buying cars or something like that. But most likely when you call here with an issue or a need, you'll talk to me. He's done. Yeah, he's done. And he moves you on to an F&I guy who tries to sell you a warranty and some aftermarket products. And then at that point, if you have, like you said, if you have an issue with your car, then they send you right to the service department where you speak to somebody else. So I'm involved in it right from the start, from the first time that I come up and greet you when you drive on the lot until you leave with your car, or if you have an issue with your car afterwards, I'll probably be the guy that you speak to. I think people really like that instead of being shuffled around. I have so many people come in and say they had been to so-and-so dealership and they were there for 4 or 5 hours and they thought they were treated badly, and I always say, well, why didn't you run out of the place? You weren't chained. People don't have to be treated like that. Buying a car doesn't have to be that kind of experience. It should be a good experience. It should be quick and it should be painless. You should walk out with a car or drive out with a car that you really like. Hopefully you like it for many years and it's reliable, and then we hope to see you back for the next one.